from stretch and strengthen to let's stretch. We're going to go ahead and get started with the warm-up. So find a comfortable stance. Maybe the feet are 6 to 8 inches apart. The shoulders are right over the hips are right over the heels. Belly button's pulled in, and let's just do some arm swings. A little bend at the knee. Let the arms swing. We're not really warmed up yet, so gentle, gentle, gentle as we warm up. And then as that starts to feel okay, let's do a little bit of toe lift with that. Just pressing a little bit onto the toes. Again, we're just warming up, so not a lot of motion here, just pressing into the toes a tiny bit. Good, we'll move on to torso swings. So again, pull in on the belly button. You're gonna let the arms just come around gently. Not a lot of motion in the arms quite yet. Keep the arms pretty close into the body. And then once that starts to feel good and you're starting to warm up, then the arms can come around a little bit farther. Arms can float out away from the body a little bit farther, but you continue to pull in on the belly button. Keep the chest lifted so we're not rounding forward here. Shoulders are right over the hips. Belly button's pulled in all the way around. Good. Here we'll go into some moguls, so pull in on the belly button, bend at the knees, the hands are out in front. We're going to push the hips side to side. Reach one hip and then the other off to the side, bending at the knees, getting a little bit of twist in the knees as you push the hips to one side and then the other. Again, we're warming up, so just go to the point that feels okay for you. Keep the chest lifted, chin stays level, just push the hips side to side. We're here. And then let that go, shake that out. A little bit of tension in the hips, so shake that out, make sure that all that tension is gone. And then we're gonna bring the arms up into goalpost arms, open up the palms, pull in on the belly button, rotate the palms down, push the palms away, and then bring the palms right back up. Maybe open up towards the ceiling if your body's ready for that today. But again, just gentle motion here in the shoulders. We're not moving really fast. We're just getting the shoulders warmed up, pressing the palms up to the ceiling, and then pressing them off to the back. A couple more here. And then shake that out, let that go. And then as you're ready, the palms are facing forward, the thumbs are up, get that wide stance, maybe a little bit of bend in the knee. And then we're rotating the thumbs all the way down and around, and then bringing them right back up, opening up towards the sky. Be really gentle here. Keep that slight bend in the elbow. That's going to protect your elbow joint. Make sure you're breathing. You want to hold your breath as we're going through these exercises. And again, if this is too much on the shoulders, you can always bring this in a little bit. Not quite as much torque on the shoulders by bringing it in. But if you're able to bring it out, then try to get those thumbs all the way around, working on the shoulder joint, working on the range of motion in the shoulders. Good, and then bring that in, shake it out. We're gonna do a little bit of side stepping. So hands to the hips, step side to side. We're only stepping over a line to begin with. So just a gentle step to get started, not a lot of motion. It's just a little line that we're stepping over. And then as that starts to feel okay, then maybe it's a little bit bigger step. And then as that starts to feel okay, maybe you're stepping a little bit over. It's a little log that we're stepping over. Out for a hike today, there's a little log to step over. So bring that knee up and over, get the balance, and then bring the other one with it. Again, always finding the balance between steps, making sure you've got the belly button pulled in, you're keeping the top of the head to the ceiling. That'll help with balance. And then only going to the point that's okay for you today. Every day is different. If that's still feeling okay, then let's get up over a bigger log. So try to get up and over a little bit bigger log. Go to the point that feels good for you. Never pushing into pain. Never taking a cue that doesn't work for your body. Always modify my cues to work for your body. Just trying to keep good alignment. Trying the right way. Every bit counts. Good. Let's shake that out, work all that tension out of the hips from stepping over the log. And then we're just gonna go to a low march. So we'll just start by barely bringing the feet off the floor. Just a gentle march here. Make sure you're finding the balance between steps. And then as that starts to feel okay, bring that knee up a little higher. Maybe take a moment to pause between steps. Make sure you're finding the balance on each foot. And then as that starts to feel okay, then bring that knee up just a little bit higher. Again, only going to the point that works for you today. We don't want to over stretch here. We don't want to tweak anything. Make sure that you're taking good care of your body. Going through the warm-up, getting everything ready to work. Good, and then shake that out, let that go. And we'll do a little bit of march and twist. So for the march and twist, the elbows are out like goalposts. Pull in on the belly button. We're gonna reach the elbow to the knee, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Belly button's pulled in, top of the head to the ceiling, finding the balance between steps, reaching that elbow around just to the point that's working for you. It's a lot of work to get that elbow all the way around, so concentrate on motion around in that spinal twist there. Make sure the belly button's pulled in as you go into the spinal twist so that the lower back is protected. Good, and shake that out, let that go, and we'll go through most of that warm-up one more time and start with arm swings. So get the arms swinging, maybe there's a little bit more available now. Make sure you're breathing. You can add the heel lifts whenever you'd like. A little bit of bend in the knee will help the quads get warmed up. And again, as you're ready, maybe do those heel lifts, going onto the toes, back onto the heels. Pressing up high on the toes. Working on foot strength, working on balance, working on stability in the torso, and getting everything warmed up. Good, shake that out, let that go. And we'll do torso swings. So again, pull the belly button in as you swing the torso around. The arms are loose. There's not a lot of motion here away from the body quite yet. So you want to work the hands a little bit farther away from the body as this starts to feel good. Always going at the pace for you. You don't have to go my pace. You can always go your pace. But keep the belly button pulled in as you twist so that you protect your entire lower back. Good, and we'll move on to moguls. So get that good stance, hands out in front for balance, sit the hips side to side, pushing the hips down and out, trying to get a little stretch across the IT band on the outside of the thigh here. Should feel good. If this is not feeling good, you'll want to back out, go less deep into the lunge, and not overstretch here. And again, if you're not able to keep your chest lifted and the body's pitching forward, then just go to smaller motions here. The small motions are just fine. You get all of the benefits, and then over time, as you keep coming to class, you'll get more and more depth out of these exercises. Okay, last one. And then let that go. All right, back to the shoulders. So pulling on the belly button, elbows come up into goalpost arms, open up the palms, and then press the palms towards the back. Open up, all the way up, and then open up as much to the ceiling as possible. Rotate around slowly. You don't want to go really fast here. Just continue to get as much rotation as your body allows without pushing into pain. But again, we're trying to get more range of motion in the joint. So just go to the point you feel a little bit of pressure, but it's okay and not producing pain. Good, shake that one out. And then the arms are out wide, thumbs are face up, pull in on the belly button, and then rotate the thumbs down and around. Rotate the shoulders as far as they'll go, and then go the opposite direction. Thumbs are up, and then off to the back. Open up as much as possible, and then down and around, and then up. Again, go nice and slow. You don't have to move fast here. You want to move with intention. You want to put yourself in a position of producing pain, but rather you're just getting as much range of motion out of the joint as your body allows today. Good, and then shake that out, let all that tension go, and we'll move on to the side steps. So step over the line, you can step over the little log, you can step over the big log, whatever feels right for you for the second round. So if you're feeling nice and warmed up, maybe that's a bigger log. Working on balance here. This really helps with balancing on one leg because we have to counter the side-to-side action by stabilizing with the abdominal muscles. So it helps with balance, helps with things like hiking, stair climbing, any of the everyday activities that help allow you to do what you're wanting to do throughout your day, maybe walking on the beach, maybe walking in the woods, whatever it is. Working on these balance exercises will make that all easier throughout your day. Let's do a few more. And last one. Good, and then shake that out. And then we'll go back to marching. So just a little march, and then a little bit bigger march, so bring the knees up. And bring the knee up as high as possible. Keep that belly button pulled in. Think about the core muscles doing the work here. So lift up with the core, if you can envision that. It's about not just lifting the leg, but using the core to pull the leg up towards the body. And then if available, we'll add the twist. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. Tall, proud upper body postures here. Top of the head to the ceiling. Chin is level, chest is vertical or as much as possible. Not rounding forward here, but just rather twisting around. Good, and shake that out, let that go. And we're all warmed up now, so let's move on. We're gonna do some runner skips, some squats, some side lunges, or squats, as always. So let's start with runner skip. So for runner skip, we're gonna stay in one place. You can use the gym if you like, but for the demonstration, we'll stay in one place. Runner skip is a little hop. Doing the march with that little hop. Try to get a little push off between skips. If that's not working for you, you can just lift off, that's just fine. You're still getting all the benefits. If you can add that little hop, go ahead and do so. Keeping the belly button pulled in, as always. Top of the head to the ceiling, as always. And then let that go. Walk that one out. A lot of work on the hip flexors here, so let those hip flexors relax for a moment. And then we'll move into kickstand squats. For kickstand squats, one leg is forward, the other leg is back. It's as if your feet are in the sides of a box, the opposite direction, so diagonal direction. The feet are as parallel as possible. Push the weight onto the front leg, hands to the hips. The back leg is there mostly for balance. You can use a chair out front or the bar if you prefer for a little bit of extra balance. And then let that front leg do most of the work. Push the tailbone down towards the floor. Try not to let the knee go past the toe. Back leg is there for balance. Chest is lifted. Chin is level. Breathing is normal. Lowering down with control, pressing up with control. And again, back foot is hopefully just there for balance, not doing a lot of the work. Front leg is doing all the work. Good. Two more. And last one. And then walk that out, shake that out, and we'll move on to the other side. Get that front foot forward, make sure the feet are parallel, make sure they're separated as if they're in a box and you're on the diagonal of the box. Hips are forward, hands to the hips, most of the weight into the front leg, back leg's there for balance, belly button's pulled in, and then kickstand squats. You might glance down and see if you can see your toe as you squat down. You don't want the knee going past the toe. We're working on quad strength and glute strength here, so you want to press down and then press back up. Again, if you can think about the work happening on the front leg, that's going to make that front leg do most of the work. And the back leg is really just there for balance as the front leg does the working. We're gonna do a few more. That's 3, 2, and 1. Walk that out, shake that out, let that go. And then we'll set up for side lunge. For side lunge, separate the feet. You can take the angle on the toes that works best for you. I'm gonna take parallel feet for my knees. Get the stance as wide as you're comfortable with, hands to the hips, belly button's pulled in. Gonna lunge down into the knee and then press back to center. Lunge down to the opposite knee, press back to center. Try to push through the heel on this so that you're making the glutes do a lot of the work, pressing through the heel and then coming straight back to center. Not gonna do too many of these. Getting a little bit of stretch on the inner thigh as you go down. Chest is lifted, chin is level, belly button's pulled in. Always, always, always. Last 2, and last 1. Good. Walk that out. And we'll do some curtsy squats next. So get ready for curtsy squats. For curtsy squats, the hands can be out front for balance or they can be on the hips, whatever you prefer. Start with a stance about the hip width distance apart, and then the back leg comes around and we push the tailbone down, come back to standing. Back leg comes around, push down, back to standing. So take your time here. You don't have to go fast. You don't have to go my pace. Just go your pace. Get that foot around, sit the tailbone down, and then press back up. Foot goes around, sit the tailbone down, press back up. Chin is level, chest is lifted, breathing is normal. Trying to get the tailbone to go down towards the floor by bending at the knee and then pressing out of that. We're building quad strength, we're building glute strength, we're building balance, and we're building stability around the knee by putting it in this slightly awkward position and making it work. Good. Last 2, and last 1. Good. Shake that out and let that one go. And we'll move on to balancing, and then we'll probably come back to a few of those. So let's work on the balancing postures. The hands are on the hips. The posture is nice, proud upper body posture, shoulders are over the hips, hips are right over the heels, belly button's pulled in. We're gonna put all of our weight into our left leg, and then we're gonna press our right heel away from us towards the back. This hip has to press forward as you're pressing the heel back. Find the balance on one leg. The leg is straight, the kneecap is pulled up, the thigh muscles engaged, chin stays lifted, the chest is still pretty vertical here, just pressing my heel away. Thinking about lifting the heel up towards the ceiling, that's gonna make the hamstrings at the back of the leg do the work. Hold this for 3, 2, 1, and then come on out, walk that out. Check to make sure you're breathing. And then we'll go to the other side. All the way into the right leg. Press the left heel away. Keep the chest lifted. Pretty vertical here. Chin is level. We're just pressing that back heel away. This hip has to press forward. You don't want to open up at the hip. You want to press that hip forward. Keep the hips in good alignment. So the hips should be fairly square to the front. Standing leg should be straight. The kneecap should be pulled up. And the thigh muscles should be fully engaged. Let's hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then walk that out. Good. We'll go on to a bent leg balancing exercise. So all the way into the right leg, get that right leg bent, hands to the hips so they can be out in front. It's your choice. Find the balance on the bent leg. You can raise the opposite leg up off of the floor. You can put it out front, you can put it to the side, you can put it behind you. You can put it wherever you'd like. If it needs to touch down, that's just fine, but always try to get back in. Losing balance is part of gaining balance, so always just try to get back in, go through the setup, make sure you have the good alignment as you go back in. Try to keep the balance on the bent leg. 3, 2, 1, and then push on out. Walk that out. A lot of pressure in the hips, a lot of work happening in that hip. So walk that out before we move on to the other side. Good. As you're ready, all the way into the left leg, bend at the left leg, pull that right toe up off of the floor, find the balance on the bent knee. It helps to find a point out in space to gaze at to help with balance. So if you find something that's not moving, try to keep your gaze on that. Focus on your breath, make sure you're breathing here. And again, if you fall out, no worries, just get back in. Balance builds slowly over time, so just keep coming to class, keep working on the balance. I always recommend working on balance exercises while you're brewing your coffee in the morning, maybe while you're brushing your teeth, maybe while you're waiting in line at the grocery store. Whatever it is where you find yourself with a little bit of time, it's always nice to work on these balancing exercises throughout the day. Good, let that go, walk that out. And then we'll go back to the runner skip series. So starting with runner skip, make sure all that tension's gone from the balance. And then back to runner skip. Bring that knee up high, little hop. Bring the knee up as high as you can. Try to keep the balance between steps. Try to add that hop. But if you're just pressing onto that, that's just fine. It's still going to build all the muscles. Those muscles will develop slowly over time. And then just keep trying to add the hop. And those foot muscles will build strength and stability, and you'll be able to add the hop. Good. More, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Walk that one out, and we'll get ready for kickstand squats. Again, for kickstand squats, the feet are as if they're in a box on the diagonal. Feet are parallel with each other. The weight comes onto the front leg, hands to the hips, chest is lifted, chin is level, and then lower down, press up with that front leg. Lower down, press up. If you start to pitch forward, just go to the point where your body's not pitching forward and work right there. So maybe you don't have a lot of depth in the squat, but if you're working on the alignment, those muscles will build, and slowly over time, you'll be able to get more and more depth out of the squat. So again, if your body's starting to pitch forward, just go a little bit lower, or not so low into the squat, so that those muscles can strengthen and you can keep the body upright. If you're able to keep that torso lifted, and go as deep as you can, pressing out of that by pressing through the heel, keeping the belly button pulled in, making sure you have good alignment for each and every repetition. And then walk that out like that. Teacher's out of breath. All right, other side. Get those feet all set up, weight into that front foot, hands to the hips. Exhale out all the air. Nice big inhale. And now kickstand squats on the other side. Again, think about that front leg doing the work. Try to let the back leg just be there for balance. So we're working on single leg strength here, but with the back leg there for balance, it's nice and stable. So in your mind, press through that heel in order to make that front leg do as much of the work as possible. Good, got a few more. 4 more. 3 more. Last 2. All right, we'll skip the side lunge and we'll move back to the curtsy lunge. So curtsy lunge, get a nice good stance here, hands to the hips, pulling on the belly button. Bring your foot off to the back and around, and then curtsy down, press up. Find the balance here, bring the other foot off to the back and around, and then press up. Again, find the balance between steps. You want to go nice and slow here. The slower you go, the more you build strength, so it's fine to go nice and slow. And it's also good to make sure you have the balance as you go into these curtsy squats. So we're not trying to tip you over, but rather just work on stability on one leg, and then working with this angle of the curtsy squat to build more muscle strength around the knees. Keep breathing, make sure you're breathing. Helps to find a point out in space to gaze at to help with balance. And a few more here. Let's do 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and last one. And then back to the straight leg balance. We're just going to do this straight leg balance. So find the balance on the right leg, and this time bring the left leg up, working towards a 90-degree angle at the hip, the knee, and the ankle, but if that's not available, no worries, just look in that direction. For this one, the belly button's pulled in, top of the head to the ceiling, standing leg is straight, kneecaps pulled up, all those muscles on that right side are firing to keep the straight leg, keep the balance. You're centered right over the heel for the balance. Hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then walk that out. And we'll go to the other side. Find the balance on the left leg is straight, bring that right leg up. Find that 90-degree angle at the hip, knee, ankle. If that's not available, no worries, just hold it just as far off the ground as you can. Again, you're building the strength, building in the direction of the exercise so that the muscles come back stronger the next day. And then as you continue to come to class, build strength over time, and then the postures start to deepen and you can go deeper into the exercises. Hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then walk that out, let that go, and it's time to stretch. Finally made it to the stretch section. So let's take a moment to breathe. Let all that tension go from the balancing, and we'll start on the stretching exercises. First one, let's do the tuck lift. So start with a nice tall upper body posture. Pull in on the belly button, and then we're going to tuck the chin down, gaze at the belly button, and then lift the chin back to neutral. Slowly lift the gaze up to the ceiling, lift the chin up to the ceiling, go to the point that's okay for your neck. Belly button still needs to be pulled in, and then back to neutral. Tuck the chin, stretch the back side of the body, and then right back to neutral. Lift the chin, stretch that chin up so you're stretching the front side of the body. And then gently let that go. Let everything go. And we'll do a neck stretch. For the neck stretch, we're gonna, again, stand up nice and tall, hands to the hips, top of the head to the ceiling. We're gonna drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder, getting a head tilt here. So stretching right across the side of the neck. Find the point where you have a deep sensation of stretching, and then just breathe right there. Should feel like a good stretch. If it feels crummy or like too much, you'll want to back out. You don't want to overstretch. You just want to go to the point where it feels good, especially when you come back out of it. So go ahead and release. Spread the shoulders a few times, and then we'll go off to the other side. Nice tall posture, top of the head to the ceiling. That ear tucks towards the shoulder. Find that stretch along the side of the neck. Breathe into that stretch. Take a few extra moments here to let the muscles release and relax into the stretch. Slowly come on out. Little shoulder shrug. And then we'll do a shoulder stretch. Let's bring the arm across, get a hold of the elbow. Pull the elbow in towards the body. Find a stretch on the back of the shoulder here. Once you've found that stretch, see what you can do to just breathe into the stretch. You don't want to hold the breath. Hold the stretching postures for anywhere from 25 to 35 seconds in order for the body to really start to open up. So we have to breathe for a few more moments here and then start to just deepen the posture a tiny bit by pulling the elbow towards the body, maybe just a micro inch more for a deeper stretch. Always gentle though, gentle, gentle, gentle. Good, and then let that go, shake it out. And we'll move to the other side. So bring that arm across, get a hold of the elbow, stand up nice and tall, pull that elbow in towards the body, find your shoulder stretch, and then just focus on relaxation into that stretch. Slowly come on out, let those muscles come back to normal. Little shrug here, and then we'll go through those 3 one more time. Second set, maybe there's a little bit more available in the stretch. Stand up nice and tall, drop the chin down, gaze at the belly button, and this time maybe a little bit of rounding through the back. Bringing the shoulders forward, bringing the belly button to the spine, gazing at the belly button. And then as you're ready, bring everything back to neutral. Lift the gaze, pull the belly button in as you lift the chin up. This time, maybe if you want a little bit more, press the hips forward ever so slightly, lift the chin up ever so slightly higher. Breathe right there. If you're not able to breathe, you'll want to back out. You want to be able to breathe into the stretch. Gently come back out, come back to neutral. You can let everything come back to normal. Let the muscles come to their normal length. And then we'll go back to the ear to the shoulder. So you can let the arms down if that feels better on the ear to shoulder, or you can have the hands up, whatever feels best for you. Stand up nice and tall, and then we're letting that right ear come down towards the right shoulder. Find that gentle stretch on the side of the neck. Once you've found a good stretch, then breathe right there. Neutral, shrug that out, let that go, and then as you're ready, we'll set up for the other side. Top of the head to the ceiling, ear coming down towards the shoulder. Find that neck stretch. If your face is contorted, you've gone too far. If your breathing is ragged and you can't control it, you've gone too far. Just want to be able to breathe right here. Slow, slow flow air, hopefully in and out through the nose, calming the body. Letting this stretch just gently come on out. Once you're back to neutral, little shoulder shrug, let all that go. And then we'll go back to the shoulder stretch. Bring the arm across, get a hold of the elbow, reach the hand off to the opposite side, and then once you've found that spot where it's going to give you a nice stretch, then pull that elbow in. Make sure you're gentle here. You don't want to overstretch. You just want to find a deep sensation of stretching outside of the shoulder. Move those muscles a little, and then other side. That side, shoulder shrug, and I'll turn sideways for this next one so you can see a little bit better. We're going to reach the hands behind, open up at the shoulders, open up at the chest. If this is your stretch today, then just work right here, opening up the chest as much as possible, pressing the hands out and away and around as much as possible. If it's available, you can reach the hands behind, try to touch the hands together. That's going to give you a little bit deeper shoulder stretch. So if that's your posture today, then just work right there, breathe right there. If you're able to get a grip on the hand, then you might interlace the fingers. And then from here, you can start to open the shoulders up, pinching the shoulder blades together, lifting the grip just a little to give a little bit deeper stretch. And then if that is not enough, then you can start to pull in on the belly button and reach the chest forward, reach the chin forward, bend at the knees, reaching the fists up towards the ceiling. Keep that slight bend in the knees. And then go to the point where you have a deep stretch on the whole back side of the body. You've got a stretch on the shoulders. And you're able to breathe right here. Going up nice and slow. Once you're back to normal, work the arms around. A little bit of motion in the arms to let that one go. and then we'll move on to a forearm stretch. So fingertip to fingertip, press the fingers together, press the palm away. We're getting a stretch across the forearm here, so press the palm away, pull the fingertips together, find that stretch on the forearm. Once you've found the stretch, see what you can do to deepen it just a little, but never too much. And now we'll switch to the other side. Fingertip to fingertip, press the palm away, open up at the wrist, find that stretch on the forearm. Switch it around, keep the fingertips, fingertip to fingertip, and then press the palm up towards the ceiling, press the elbow up towards the ceiling. With the opposite fingers, you're pulling the fingers down so you can get a good stretch on the underside right through here. And then switch that around, we're still fingertip to fingertip, palm to the ceiling, opposite fingers pressing together, raising the elbow up towards the ceiling, and find that stretch right there. Shake that one out. And then we'll move on to a tricep press, or stretch. For this one, we're going to bring the hand to the elbow, and then the elbow comes up overhead. Pull in on the belly button, elbow to the ceiling, and then the hand reaches down the back. The hand on the elbow gives a little bit of pressure in order to open the stretch up, so you're stretching right through here. So a little bit of pressure from the hand into the elbow to assist the elbow up and then down the back. Come out of that nice and slow. We'll go to the other side. So hand to the elbow, elbow to the ceiling. That palm goes down to the middle of the back as far as it'll go, and then use the opposite hand for a little bit of an assist. Always using the arm strength for a tiny assist, never overstretching by using the arm strength too much and overstretching. Good. Let that one go. We'll work on a calf stretch, so I'll turn sideways so you can see this one better. For the calf stretch, we're going to put the right foot behind the left foot. You can use the bar for balance if needed. Pull in on the belly button, press the chest down. You can use the bench out front for balance or a chair. Or if you're able to reach down towards the floor, get a hold of the floor. And then we're working on the stretch on the calf muscle at the back leg. It's also getting a stretch across the front leg. So just wherever you feel that stretch, just breathe right there and let those muscles stretch. Slow, make sure you have the balance to come up. Let that stretch go, and then we'll go to the other side. So the right foot is in front, left foot is behind. Find the balance. Use the bar as needed, use the bench as needed. Belly button's pulled in. Press the chest down towards the floor. Reach down towards the floor. You might feel this more in the calf, you might feel it more in the hamstring or the glute muscle. Wherever you feel the stretch, just go ahead and breathe right there and let that muscle stretch. That out for just a moment, and we'll stretch the hamstrings. For this one, the foot is out at an angle, heel pressing into the ground, and then I twist my shoulders so that I'm facing that leg. Belly button's pulled in. The bar's right there for balance as needed. You can use the bench as well. Press the chest towards the toes, reach the chin towards the toes. Keep the leg as straight as you can. That's going to give you more stretch. Once you find that deep sensation of stretching, then hold it right there breathe right there. Try not to overstretch. You don't want to overstretch the hamstrings and produce an injury. You just want to go to the point where you feel a good stretch. And then when you release and come on out, it feels good. Go ahead and come on out. Walk that one out. And then we'll go to the other side. Press that heel away. Rotate the torso towards that leg. Belly button pulled in. Hinge at the hips. Press the chest towards the toes. Reach the chin towards the toes. Find your deep stretch. Walk that one out. Turn over. And then you can use the bench or the wall for the glute stretch. I'm going to use the wall for the glute stretch. For this one, the feet are about a foot, maybe a foot and a half from the wall. Pull in on the belly button. We're going to bring the leg up, lay the foot across, open up at the hip, bring the toes back towards the kneecap. Find the balance here, and then press the chest towards the shin. Reach the chin out in front, so you're stretching right underneath that hip. Find that deep stretch, and then once you find that stretch, breathe into it. Gently come on out. And switch legs. Put blood back into the legs with a little movement, and then go through the setup. Get the foot right where you want it for balance. Bend at the knee, use the wall for balance if needed, and then bring the foot up. Open up at the hip, toes coming back towards the kneecap. Press the chest towards the shin, reach the chin out in front. So you're reaching out and finding that stretch. Come on out, walk that out. Thanks for coming to class today. That's a wrap. Good job, good work. We'll see you next time.